Hi guys, Nick is here from Space. Welcome to our video series for implementation of SketchUp in architectural design workflow. Hopefully, during this time you'll enjoy at the first place, you'll learn something, and you will find the way how SketchUp could improve your ability to create, to produce, and to deliver on time much more successful projects than ever before. But let's stop talking and go ahead to see the topic today. So we have set up our scenes, we have created everything that is needed for these scenes. So now I will start from the first scene, our master bedroom, and we will go ahead to create our interior renderings of this scene. But before that, actually, I would like to take a look closely to these scenes and what is presented in this scene and what is not. And as you can see here, we have some empty space on this wall in right side, so it will looks not very well after rendering. As well, these wardrobes here and from the left side has to be up to our ceiling, because this gap here will look also not very well in our rendering. So I will adjust the height of these wardrobes here, but before that I would like to fill this empty space with some additional furniture. So in this time I will use actually the library of V-Ray, which is integrated in SketchUp, and this button, the second button here from this toolbar, is House Cosmos, and when you click you actually receive an access to the library of House Cosmos. And here you have furniture, lighting, vehicle, people, and so on. So if you go to furniture, or you can go to accessories in order to find something for this wall here. And here in the corner I'm planning to set some vegetation, some plants here in order to look better. So I can go to vegetation, tap at first, and here you will see a lot of models that you can download and place in your model. So I will filter all this vegetation. I will use let's say living room vegetation. I would like to see the living room vegetation, and here now are displayed all the vegetation that are appropriate for the living room, and I will grab one and will place here in our bedroom. So let's use this one or this one here. In order to use, you have to know that in order to use this library, at first you have to download your model, this one or this one, it doesn't matter, and when you download you will receive this green sign here, and you can upload actually directly this model into your model, and you have to adjust of course the position of this additional model, so you can pick and move wherever you want. So I will adjust the size by using S key from your keyboard. I would like to be a smaller one, so now this model is placed correctly, and as you can see it looks some strange, and it is because that each model from the V-Ray library comes as a proxy model, but and it looks like this. In order to save space and RAM of your computer and to not become very heavy for your project. But when you start rendering, it will be rendered as a very good model, for example, plants or some furniture and whatever it is the model. So now I will continue and I will use some additional models in order to fill this empty space, and then I will go back to our scene. So I will go again to our Cosmos library, and now I would like to use some accessories for this wall, and I can scroll down in order to find some accessories for here, and actually it could be a long process in order to find the appropriate accessory. I can use this one. I will download and I will place somewhere here. It takes time, of course, and let's place one and one more like this, and then I can rotate somehow this just a little, for example like this, and I will rotate this one as well in a different direction, of course, just a little, to not be. I will move this a little bit back, and I will move this as well a little bit back like this, and I would like to place something above, and it will be some kind of section probably, or some model here for the wall. It will be some furniture, and this furniture I could, let's say, living room. I can use something like this, but I would like to search for, oh, these ones are very good in my opinion, so I will use, yes, actually I will use this one in order to place it somewhere here. Some bookcase in our model. Let's say like this. I could adjust a size a little bit, like this, for example. And now I can go to our master bedroom in order to see what I'm going to see after this placement. So I have to move everything a little bit to the corner here. So I will pick these three objects and I will move them like this. I can pick this one and move it again somewhere here, let's say, and now I can go to again to our scene, and I will see a little bit of this corner here. I can pick this one and I can flip in order to see these books, flip along. It could be red. Yes, it is probably. And now, in my opinion, it is better to see a little of these books and this corner here with all these guys here, and I can place something in this wall here. So I will go to this library again and to see for some accessories for decoration, of course, and I will use this watch, this clock, wall clock. I will check if we have something like this. Obviously we don't have, so I will use this watch. I will download at first, and then I will place on this wall here, and as you can see I have to rotate and I have to adjust the position of this watch. Like this, I have to rotate in 90 degrees and then to place exactly on this wall. So I will use this point and will place the watch like this. Actually, I have to adjust a little bit the size, like this for example, and like this, and I will go to our I will leave like this. So now the next step will be to correct all these wardrobes here, and especially the doors in front, to go up to our ceiling. So we placed some furniture, some additional accessories for decoration. Actually here in this empty space of our model we have adjusted the sizes here, but actually I forgot to give an appropriate tag for all these elements here, so I can pick them, all of them actually, and I can go here. We have one more, so I can go now to our project browser in our furniture for the underground floor, and here we have decorate elements. So 9.1 point 2 is our tag for all these elements, so I will tag them with this decorative elements. So now they are tagged, I can lock them of course, and I can continue ahead with preparation for our rendering. I will use V-Ray assets, and this welcome screen, let's say, this first window of V-Ray is actually your plot for work. So the first tool here, the first menu, is your materials, your lighting into the model, your geometry elements that are placed in addition to your model. As you can see now, this ficus elastica is a part of these elements that are into your scene. These are the sections that we have created in our model, and here you have a menu for additional options into the V-Ray to control your materials, to control the visibility, such as ambient occlusion, all the rendering elements are here, and so on. The next one is your environment and textures, special textures that could be placed here, and these are your render settings actually, and this button here represents the opportunity to make an interactive rendering, to make a cloud rendering, or to export this scene as a file, and by default we have a rendering button here, and this is the next one is actually your frame buffer that represent a window of your rendering. And if you go to this arrow here, you will see an additional page, let's say, of your editor. It is the same from left side. Actually, here is your material library, which is integrated into your V-Ray and SketchUp as well. So actually this is the most important window when you start rendering of your project. So, and I would like to say that this library is a different one than this one in V-Ray Cosmos, because here you also have some library of materials, but these materials here are different actually than this one here into the V-Ray. Let's say that in Cosmos you have an ability to use an additional materials. You have bricks, concrete, all the materials are listed here in this library. And now let's start with adjusting some settings in order to produce our first rendering for our scene. And it could be, you can render of course the engine. This is a CPU rendering, and actually here will be the scene will be rendered by using your CPU. V-Ray will use your CPU. This is some kind of a mixed rendering by using CUDA GPU and CUDA, something in between. And this rendering actually use your video card from your hardware, from your computer, and here our video card is listed, So for now this interactive rendering is switched off. uh, RTX rendering, actually CPU rendering, could be progressive or not progressive, and RTX it's not necessary to be a progressive. Here is you can adjust automatically the quality of your rendering up to high plus. For now low is absolutely okay for this first test rendering. The effects that you have load in your scene could be rendered at the end of the process, or could be rendered very often when the process of rendering goes. I will use very often, and this here is actually the most important part of your settings, denoiser. There are three options of denoiser: um, NVIDIA and V-Ray. It's better to use V-Ray because actually it is better for interior rendering, and it, it must be actually switched on. You can adjust the camera. It is standard camera. uh, Here is the exposure of your camera. For now it is set to auto, but you can adjust this by using this slider here, and the white here is auto balance of your scene, and for now I will click to auto, uh, and here you have some effects that you can use for your scene, the depth of field, and these effects in addition are vignetting and vertical lens tilt. The next menu of your settings is your render output. For now it is set image width and height 800 to 450, which is okay, and this is an aspect ratio of your image. It could be 1:1 square, it could be picture 4:3, and landscape, portrait, and so on. I prefer to use widescreen, and here is the menu for animation. If you go to create some animation, it is additional menu for your environment. Actually, when you have some environment around this scene, and when you use some lighting to light your scene, the options for material override, but I will show you all this later on. So for now, here is the additional menus for render quality. You can control in addition the quality of your render, anti-aliasing filter. You have global illumination, V-Ray GPU to read full textures or resize the textures, and so on and so on. And here is your denoiser, and it is switched on. It could be V-Ray and NVIDIA, as I told you, and it could be default, mild, strong, or custom. You can adjust the strength and the radius of your denoiser, but for now I will leave as a default one. So here is the explanation for your configuration and advanced camera parameters in relation to the ISO and f-number and shutter speed for your camera. It is actually very close to the real camera into the real life. So now we have adjusted the camera exposure. It is default one. and the render settings is set to low in order to produce our first test rendering. I can click this button and now you will see your V-Ray frame buffer, and here will be our first rendering shown in this area here. But for now, as you can see, we don't actually, now it's okay, but as you can see, we cannot see absolutely anything here, or almost anything, because actually we don't have lights, we don't have materials in our scene. So this frame buffer, I would like to show you this frame buffer at first. You have all the render elements here, all the channels for your rendering. I will not go deeply for now to this one, and you have all the layers from this right side here, and these layers are for the, let's say, post-production of your rendering. You can adjust the space here and the space here, and the most important part is actually into the left, and this part could help you go ahead, and so on. So this is a history of your rendering. So this was our first rendering, and I would like to see this rendering here. I have this option, and to compare later on this rendering with the next one. So I will go at first to options. These are VFB settings. I will click over these settings, and here we have a tab for our history. So I will enable our history, and when you enable, you have to show the path where actually is your history folder. So I will pick our folder here. Let's say this is our project and this is our Visio. I will create a new folder. I will call this folder, let's say, V-Ray Visio, and I will say to V-Ray to save all the history here. It is written here, and now I can save and close this window. Immediately you see that now actually these icons here are active, and you can add this picture to your history. Here is a short explanation for the size of this picture and how much time it costs to be produced. So this is our first picture, and later on we will compare our pictures one by one and to go ahead by this way. And this button here, this is actually an option, a button to save the current channel that is produced here, and you can delete, of course. You can render a part, only a part of this picture. For example, these lights here you can adjust, for example, like this, and to render only this part of your picture. And this is your button for interactive rendering, and this is actually the button that we will use to render our picture, or let's say our scene. I will close this, and by this way we can go ahead and to create our rendering. But before that, actually we have to replace our materials with the appropriate ones from V-Ray or from V-Ray Cosmos, and we have to adjust our lights, because for now, as you can see, we have just only these three lights which are placed in our scene. So in order to produce a good quality rendering, you have to have some lights into your scene. So let's put some lights and go ahead. So we are ready for now, and we can go ahead to the next stage of our project. See you there.